when did you join and what inspired you to join the Navy in particular?
Well, lived in, San Diego's kind of well, mostly at that time was a small town.
Mhm.
And a lot of my friends were older than me, graduated from high school. They'd gone into the Navy. Some of them were Navy SEALs. And so when I graduated from high school, I thought, hey, that would be kind of something cool to do, So went to boot camp down in San Diego, went to electronic school in Florida, went to Japan on the Midway,
Wow.
and kind of traveled all over they say join the Navy and see the world.
Yeah.
Well, I certainly did.
And what is an electronic warfare technician?
Well, we had a lot of equipment that needed to be repaired or serviced or whatever. So we actually got full electronic training.
Okay.
It was a year long worth of electronics training. We also got operations of our equipment, which was all airplanes, ships have a radar, and by using this electronic gear, you could distinguish between different airplanes and ships what radars were on that particular airplane or ship, and we could tell you, okay, this ship has that radar, and that radar. This is a Russian trawler,
Okay. Wow.
and that's what the electronic warfare technician do. Nowadays, though, that's all electronic. They just push a button and it says, "Yeah, that's a frigate."
Yeah. Wow. So, well, somebody
It
had to
has
teach,
evolved. Yeah,
somebody,
right.
an electronic technician, or warfare technician probably had to tell those electronics what to do, right?
Right.
Were you doing that?
Yeah, when I got out I was an E5 when I got out, so I was, lack of a better word, supervisor.
Okay. And from there, what inspired you to join the CHP?
Well, I was going to college. I was down in San Diego, and they had a recruiting booth on one of our campuses. And when I went, started talking to these guys, and they're telling what the career opportunities were in the High Patrol, and I'll be honest with you, I'd been pulled over a couple of times by them, and they were always courteous and professional, And I thought, okay, if I join any law enforcement agency, it'd probably be the High Patrol. So
Mhm.
that was kind of the impetus of me um, filling out an application and eventually becoming a High Patrol officer.
And how did you transition to a motorcycle officer?
Well, I started up in, after I left the academy. The academy for the High Patrol is up in Sacramento.
Okay.
And so you get assigned your first duty station. You don't really get to pick where you want to go.
Hmm.
So I was sent to Monterey,
Okay.
and Monterey didn't have any motorcycles at the time.
Okay.
A graveyard partner of mine, he said that he wanted to ride motorcycles and he was going to transfer down to LA. So shortly thereafter, I kind of followed that direction and went down to LA. And after several years, got on a motorcycle
Okay.
in central Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
Same office as Ponch and John from the TV Chips.
Oh, which, we could play an excerpt from that on the show if
Yeah,
we want.
right.
Funny. Um, well, yeah, and how did, like, I mean, is there any part of your experience in the military and the Navy and CHP that has shaped you as the mayor of Buellton now and prior to that as a city council member of Buellton? Any of that
Well,
experience?
I think with all those things, especially the military, gives you a sense of duty and responsibility, and basically focusing on your job that
Hmm.
is at hand. Um, I've learned a lot of experiences from all those things. Traveling all over the world, um, taking very horrific accidents. Working in places that are very high density. I mean, I think all those things kind of shape your personality and give you a perspective rather than if you say we're born here in the valley, grew up in the valley, rarely ever go out of the San Ynez Valley, you really don't have a perspective of how other people live.
Hmm.